Hey y'all, it's Sharon and I'm back to share another policing experience with you guys. If you're new to the channel, I am a retired detective. I worked for 20 years for Southeastern City in the US, and I was also in the military. I'm sharing my experiences, policing and military, some military, and my perspective in hopes of helping others in similar situations. And with that being said, I was thinking about a coworker of mine's, and he came back to the office and he was upset. And he was talking about a ticket that he had written for a driver. I don't remember what the offense was. And he was so bothered by it. And he turned to me, he's like, "And Walters, what you got to say?" Nothing. What am I gonna say? But let me tell you what he was upset about. He was upset that the person he pulled over was a transitioning male, a transgendered person, I believe it's called, a male transitioning to a female. Now, what got me, and I got into the little discussion with him, he was upset that the person in the car told him, "Yes, I'm transitioning male to female, just call me Jessica, but I know because of our interaction today and you're pulling me over, my ID says John Brown, and I know you have to write the ticket for that, but I prefer that you call me Jessica." He was upset that the individual told him to call her Jessica. And he was like, "What you got to say about that, Walters?" And I said, "So what are you upset about? You wrote the ticket." "Yeah, but I clearly see a male standing in front of me and my eyes ain't lying, and it's a male dressed as a female." I said, "So what does that have to do with writing the ticket though?" He didn't present himself, or she didn't present herself as, "Well, call me Jessica, even though that's not what my ID says." The person clearly said, "Because my ID, I haven't transitioned fully yet, I still have to use this when I have police encounters or go to the court. So what's your problem?" And he said, "Again, I clearly see a male. That's what I stopped, and that's what I'm gonna call him, and that's what's on his ID, and that's what his mama named him." And I said, "So your belief is that this male transitioning to a female has issues, and what you believe, it's not correct." And he's like, he said some other words, and I was like, "Okay, but what does that have to do with the traffic stop?" And he really couldn't tell me. So then I see he was going off into the whole faith thing. And I said, "So clearly you have an issue with the male transitioning to a female." And he's like, "Yeah, it's not right, and that's just confusion." And I said, "So does God love them any less?" And he paused. "That's not what I'm saying, Walters." I said, "So what are you saying?" Because in your mind, he's wrong for wanting to transition to whatever, and you see it as wrong because you kind of indicating your faith is telling you it's wrong. I said, "So where in it would God say not to love this person, not to treat this person with dignity, not to see this other person as human? Tell me where it says that, and then I can go look it up for myself and, see if I get the same understanding." "That's not what I'm saying, Walter. These people." I said, "These people." So again, based on what your faith is telling you, there's an us versus them. And he was like, you always twisting stuff." I said, "No, think about it. Us versus them." I said, "Do we not come from them? Do we not come from that same pool of messed upness, if that's a word?" I know it's not a word. Don't we all come from that? And then some of us manage to climb out sooner than others. And then we do this us versus them type thing. Hence policing, when we use those words, high crime area, and those criminals. Criminals can be good people to their families. Look at Derek Chauvin. You think his mother's sitting there saying, "Oh, that man, he's awful. He going straight to hell, da 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 da." His mother's probably like, "My baby, my child." And don't we see that with our own children when they mess up? Yeah, they might have messed up. They got to deal with the consequences of that, but that's still my child. I still love them. So what do you think God is saying to the transition person? Or how is he seeing the transition person driving up and encountering you, and you're upset because he told you, she told you to call her Jessica? Is that what your faith is telling you? Help me understand. And he really couldn't. He didn't have an argument. He was just upset, and he had this offense built up in him where he didn't even calm down enough to just, okay, let me take a look at this. If I'm just considering the job, there was nothing, there was no untruth. The individual said, I know I have to go by this name, da da da. You're upset because it caused offense in you and what your belief system says. So that's an inner problem. But I don't know, guys. I talk to him like I'm talking to you, and I don't know if it had any effect, but I'm just giving you another thought, another perspective with the title, and how sometimes in policing we try to take God away from other people. And God, if we're clear about it, Genesis 1:7, we're all made in his image. We just don't see each other that way. Because if somebody hurts my child, it's going to be hard for me to, we ain't even going to talk about it. But I understand. And with my relationship and me trying to cultivate a relationship between me and my Lord and Savior and my faith, my God is a big God. And everybody's included in them. There is no us. Everybody's included in them. Because if you think about it, we all come from that pool of them. Some of us just managed to climb out of it. Some of us are still hanging on to the side. Some of us are trying to swim to the side. Some of us are deep in it. This us versus them, we got to get rid of that. But yeah, I just want to share that with you guys. Hit like, subscribe. I have an online store. Please check that out. The link is in the description. I have notebooks that I created for police, fire, educators, medical workers, and the essential worker notebook is for everybody, or everybody that you have a job or don't. But check that out. And as always, you guys, remember, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.